Hello and welcome everyone. So before we move on to the next part of this course where I'll teach you how to color the illustration that I have prepared for you, I'm going to show you very briefly how I did it. So this course won't be focusing on this aspect of how I created the illustration, but I want to quickly show you some key points, and I'm going to also show you how I prepared the file that you're going to be using. So first of all, I imported a sketch that I previously did on Adobe Photoshop using my tablet, and I went to File, Place, and I placed this file on a layer. I double clicked on it and I selected Template, and I called that layer Background. And then after that I created a new layer that I called Goblin, because that's where the character will be, and I quickly started throwing shapes using both my ellipse tool and the pen tool to create all kinds of shapes. As you can see, the illustration was quite well defined from the sketch, so I didn't have to improvise a lot. I just follow the guides that I made for myself during the sketching phase. So now, as you can see, I have the illustration complete, and what I did was to click and drag the select all, and then I went to Object Group to group the entire thing together, and I changed the stroke a bit, and after that I created a new layer called Background. So I started creating the background there on a separate layer. So as you can see, I started throwing all kinds of shapes, mostly geometrical shapes, to create the background, same as I did with the character. And if you want to dig deeper into how to create characters and backgrounds and so on, you can check the tutorials on Freepik. You have tons of great material there on how to create all kinds of things. Okay, so let's skip to the part where the background is finished. I didn't include any color at this point, obviously, because we are going to be taking care of that later. And now I'm going to select the sketch layer. I'm just going to delete it because I don't need it anymore. I already traced it, so to speak, every shape that was drawn in there. So now all I have left is my goblin layer and my background layer. And now I'm going to create a new one. I'm going to call this one Palette. And this is where I'll place all the shapes that's going to contain color, that you'll be seeing that on some of my next videos on this course. And last, I'm going to create a new layer. This one is optional. I'm calling it Frame. I'm going to take a big rectangle and putting it across the entire illustration, and then I'm going to draw another rectangle that fits the area of the artboard. And now that I have these two rectangles, I'm going to bring out my Pathfinder window. I'm going to select both of them and click on minus front. So as you can see, we have a frame for the artwork. Now I'm going to select it, and by using my eyedropper tool, I'm going to click on the gray background that you have on your Adobe Illustrator, and I'm going to lock that layer. So what this does is basically hide anything that extends outside the artboard. It's a very rudimentary way of working, so it's not necessary. It's something that I do sometimes to get a better idea of how my final illustration will look like. Okay, so that's everything that I had to show you. On the next video, we're going to start the actual hard work. We're going to start coloring this illustration. So see you there.